Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray edition of The Forever Purge. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, The Forever Purge is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Universal, and it comes in a standard slipcover edition, which is available at all your local and online retailers. Now, as far as the film itself goes, when it comes to the Purge franchise, I've always had kind of a passing interest. They're not favorite movies of mine, but for me, I always enjoy the alternate reality kind of stories, whether it's a sci-fi or a more realistic take. And that's what the Purge universe really does there. It's more of a grounded what if. And I've always been more fascinated about the behind the scenes and the machinations of why this world is the way it is, more than the big violence aspects that, draw a lot of people into the film. So, when you take a movie like The Forever Purge, and it's not spoiling anything, it's really the premise of the film. Essentially, right after the Purge itself, the day, once a year, that everybody just goes loose and just, whatever. Essentially, the part of America kind of rises up and continues purging. It's really just we do this, for whatever reason is stated in the movie. I would have liked a little bit more on the how this actually happened in this film. I know they kind of touch on a little bit, but to get at such a grand scale and not have the actual government featured in the movie be aware of it, believe it or not, that's the most unrealistic part of the whole movie. But that being said, it's pretty much par for the course. You get a lot of violence here, and there's some good action scenes. The characters, I feel, I could have been a little bit stronger. They're not quite as memorable as, let's say, Frank Grillo's character in, the second and third movie. But I still think it's a movie for what it is. That's really, at the end of the day, if you're a fan of the franchise, I don't think you'll be disappointed in this one. But for me, as somebody who loves good alternate history, it's just something that kind of scratches that itch in that regard. So, all right, we're going to talk about the picture quality and the audio in just a moment. But first, let's do a quick unboxing. All right, we have the 4K slipcover edition of The Forever Purge. Artwork's fine. It actually has a nice palette to it, so I kind of dig the cover. And then we have the back and the spine. And interior is pretty much the same. And then some artwork on the 4K disc. So that's it for the unboxing. Now let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. The Forever Purge on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has a 185:1 aspect ratio. It is an upscale from a 2K digital intermediate with HDR10 for the grading. Now, for the general look of the film, it was shot digitally and it is exceptionally clean. The image is very nice to look at, and I didn't detect any kind of artifacting or digital noise, and if it was there, it was very understated. Overall, it's a very pleasing image. With this movie taking place in a southern desert setting, I was very impressed with the HDR color palette. The earth tones of the desert look great, very striking and natural, and other aspects such as skin, they looked also very inviting and warm. And when the characters are making their way to the southern border and it's nighttime and they're walking through the city, and just, I would say even the neon lighting looks very, very vibrant. I was very impressed with the HDR color grading in this, and I think you will be as well. With your typical Purge movie taking place primarily at night, the nature of this movie, there's an equal balance between daytime and nighttime scenes. But that being said, nighttime scenes are handled very well, they're very deep, no issues with elevation to speak of, and I think they looked really good. Shadow detail is also on point and no problems in that area either. Despite it being an upscale, there is a nice increase in the overall amount of detail. Skin textures and clothing fare very well, especially up close shots, and interior shots of the vehicle and buildings also are rendered very nicely. I didn't have any issues with DNR or unnatural smoothing. The Forever Purge on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a Dolby Atmos audio presentation. For the type of movie that it is, I expect a lot from my soundtrack, and I'm definitely not disappointed. The surround sound field is constantly being engaged, especially during the action sequences, and everything up front is handled very well. Dialogue through the center channel is prioritized up front, though I did notice a couple of instances, especially in the back half of the film during action sequences, it was a little difficult to understand what some of the characters were saying. But other than that, it does sound very good and precise. The front speakers, they sound great, they complement the center very well, and they handle a lot of the action nicely. The mid-level and rear speakers, this is where I feel a lot of the strength of the Atmos track comes in. Gunfire, especially when some of the characters are in the back of a police van, it's all around you. It's very riveting and dynamic. I'm very engaged with what was happening, and pretty much any action sequence really uses those speakers effectively. The height speakers are used mostly in a complementary fashion, supporting the other surround sound speaker placements with occasional discrete action as well. And the LFE channel, it does a good job vibrating your seats with some action moments, with an explosion, a car rumbling, gunfire. It's all rendered very well, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. For the picture quality, I'm going to give the Forever Purge on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray a solid A. Visually, the movie looks excellent on the formats, with HDR really benefiting the desert landscapes. Colors look very striking and bold, and black levels are excellent. The increase in resolution is very noticeable, and it's overall a very pleasing image. For the audio presentation, I'm going to give this one an A as well. The Dolby Atmos is a very engaging soundtrack, and it offers a lot to the viewer. Action sequences are rendered very well, and they're very dynamic, and the bullets are whizzing by your head at any given moment, and everything sounds very good. I'm very impressed with the results here, and I think you will be as well. So that is my review of the Forever Purge on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. If you're interested in picking this up for yourself, I will leave an Amazon link in the comments section. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But if you have the disc already, let me know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.